Okay, I've had one of those days today. I had a lovely meeting with my cardiologist with all bad news, and I thought, oh, yours just loads of fun. Anyway, I had a bit of a break this afternoon, but I've been working on this for a while. This is for a good mate of mine up in Queensland, and just a bit of a hint, when you're sending radios from point A to point B, I'll show you what they did. It's absolutely smashed the the cover on this thing. Anyway, throw that one over there. Anyway, really basic little radio, the 747GX. Before you get overly excited, they're not as exciting as they, I'm not even going to try. But they were a basic radio that did basic things, and they were a good starter radio. My mate's got a particular purpose for this that he wants it for. He's definitely not short of radios, but he's just got a particular thing he wants to use this one for. And to my good mate up there, you'll know what this means. Here comes the power cord that's going back with it. And here is the microphone. I'm looking after you. Anyway, you knew I would. Anyway, so he was given this as a gift, and he's a good mate of mine, and it's one of those ones where never tell your good mates that, yeah, no worries, we'll get it sorted. Oh, geez. This one had a few issues that we were able to fix, but they weren't obvious to him or me initially. I just started to notice on the drive that the drive was intermittent, something was going on, and in the end, found it, believe it or not, this filter. They have these little filter boards, and this filter board was faulty, and look, to be honest, I can fault find this board and have a play with it, or we have my good one here, which I was using just to do some tests. That's my one I've had for many years out in the museum, and we have this other one here, which is the remnants of one that my mate in Queensland had, and he got royally ripped with this thing. As you can see, there's not much left of it. Oh goodness! It's the only reason, though, to be fair, that we're able to make this. Look, this was really not an easy repair. If I didn't have this one here to maybe take some bits out of it, etc., etc. You see how much I care about all this. And yeah, these are the output stages, by the way, that they use on these things. And little trying a couple of 2ST2340s in these. That's right. There they are, right there. So yeah. Anyway, so that is kaput. That I'll throw on the bin. Well, probably just, well, you know what? There's not much after we've just done some changing outs today. There's not much left that they're just going to. Even if I send it back, actually, I might offer him that. Say, hey, do you want the old one? I'll send it up to you. But we're getting to the stage now where we're throwing a lot of stuff in the bin. Look, because honestly, you chase your tail on second-hand parts all the time. As far as you forget what it was that was faulty. My best suggestion is, when you find something faulty, all right, now here, there's a very good chance that we can troubleshoot the board. I just chose not to because we were able to pull another board straight out of this unit here. But actually working the fault out was an interesting one, because on the spec hand I could just see this slight signal there. I thought, oh, what's going on? Okay, weird, very weird. And in the end, yeah, it just became a suspicion as I was running my crow probe through. And that's the good thing about test equipment, guys. Sort of, if you're active with your crow probe and you can check a few volts, you'll generally work it out. Anyway, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, 1, 2. Hello, test 1, 2. Hello. Still at about 100 watts. So hold on. So yeah, no, that's good. AM, I think from memory on AM on these things, they knock them back a bit. CW need the key, I think. Oh no. About 70 watts there, and AM I think they did knock it back. Yeah, about that up full there, 10 watts or so there. Yeah, so AM, I'm not sure why they did that, but they actually ran them back in power quite a bit. But anyway, he'll be using this on sideband, so he won't really care too much. Receive wise, just let's put a bit of signal in there. What do we got? Okay, so I'm putting my normal 0.5 microvolt, which I use as a that's my standard. And actually, you know, even though I'm putting this radio down as being very basic, it's hearing that beautifully. Let's bring it up to a little bit more. That should be 51.4 microvolts, right on S9. And I must be honest, I did calibrate this for him, so that's why it's so accurately right on S9, but get rid of that. So, even though I've had such a terrible day, I've spent the last couple of hours sitting here working on this for my good old mate, and I just thought I'd done a couple of nights on it before, to be honest, and I'd really I was going to throw it in the bin. I didn't want to tell him either. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to say nothing to him at this point. He wasn't aware that it had this filter issue, and geez, I was having trouble tracking it too. It was really a matter of, you know, just sniffing out RF and keep chasing it until it sort of stops multiplying, until it stops when it disappears, you know that okay, something's not right. But I've got to be honest, I initially changed out the full PA stage, just thinking, well, it'll be the PA stage anyway. I was wrong. So basically, yes, excuse me, we really don't know whether this is good or not, because I didn't really prove anything. It's probably no good now if I keep throwing the bloody thing. Anyway, yeah, so when you're troubleshooting these things, just, you know, be aware that you know, they can get these little strange faults. Some of these filters are getting old, some of the caps are getting old, you know, bits and pieces. So you've got to keep a pretty open mind as you're troubleshooting. Look, you know, this is a freebie job, and just so you know, this is one of my last jobs that I'm doing. The rest is just to get stuff out, but I'm, you know, officially sort of going to be, you know, we'll still help a couple of CB guys out, because I don't mind working on those, but the really intrinsic takes, you know, loads and loads of time tracking faults on old ham radios. I'm officially retiring, except for getting a few of our own sort of sorted out for sale, but only time. I don't have much time left, and I'm just going to need to really sort of pull my finger out. Anyway, a little bit more about the 747. As much as I say they're very basic, now this one doesn't have FM, to be fair, but you can get an FM board for them. Probably most people, you know, not really too concerned about that. As you can see, CW, this one's got the CW narrow filter in it, as well as the AM narrow filter, which is really nice, you know, sort of when you think about it. Now, my mate's not really a CW or an AM fan, but hey, it's not wasted on him if he has to listen to the Super Bowl or something. Anyway, okay, the most dangerous switch on a amateur radio, of course, is the MOX, which you've got to be a bit careful you don't hit that by mistake and walk out the room for the transmit, because that will lock your radio in transmit. And these radios, I don't think had a timeout timer. I don't think they had a menu anything. They actually don't have a sub menu. There's no sort of, you know, hold this button down for menus. This is a very basic radio. But I'm not going to say too many bad things, because it really I thought the build quality on it was pretty poor. All these plastic casings where side strips come to bits, and basically they slide. Okay, I'm going to show you. Here you go. These side strips, like, there's no screws. Basically, you push that little spot there with a screwdriver, and the tab goes backwards and comes off. Two of these rails come off, and basically start pulling them off. Now, with this cover here that's completely rooted, this is because my mate thinks that putting it in a bit of bubble wrap and putting it in a post bag was a good idea. I'm going to have a talk to him about that. But and we did, before we actually got to the stage of, you know, we had a bit of a play trying to see if we could sort of maybe play with a bit of glue and that to see if we could turn into a decent cover again. But I gave up. I just thought, you know what, we're just going to have to write off one of the other radios that I've got here, because you can't look at that, can you? That's just disgusting. Anyway, Australia Post, thank you very much. My mate in Queensland thanks you so much. I thank you. All rubbish. Look at all this. Anyway. Okay, so we went through the modes. These were 0 to 30 as well. Now, not speaking out of school here. As you can see, they general coverage between 0 to 30 megs, meaning that, you can receive 0 to 30 with a modification. Yes, of course, they can transmit there. I've just got it in general at the moment. And he's really not interested. He's not a CB sort of guy. It's really not great. But anyway, that's just the facts, that they are able to be Mars modded quite easily. Yaesu didn't make it hard on these. They had a little brown wire inside which you snipped the brown wire, and believe it or not, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the display, so 12 point blah 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 megs, and then you turned it off, turned it on, and that actually brought it into gen mode. So I'm just going to be honest, say, look, it's obviously in gen mode right now. Now you can toggle that back out of gen mode the same way. So that's why I'm not sort of so worried about showing you what I'm showing you. But just to look, I'm just going to be honest here, just to give you an idea. If I take that up to I don't know, 27,100 or something, and then I hit band again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so it will transmit there. Now by doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thing, turning the power off, turning on, it will then go back to. It'll just keep toggling in its mode. So now I don't show you this to show you how to convert this radio, because I'm not going to show you where the brown wire is. I show you this because if you've got one and you need to convert it back, you can convert it back quite easily, just doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mode. Hit that. Sorry, just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's a bit slow, isn't it? And basically, you can just going back up to 7100. Is you can turn it right back into a fully non-gen unit where it will. Oops, went lower sideband there. Where it will basically work beautifully on all the hand bands. It'll receive from 0 to 30, won't transmit on the any bands outside of the hand bands, which is, most of my customers, that's exactly what they want. Apart from that, I can't rave on too much more about this radio, and it's pretty obvious why. It's not like an IC7850 or a Kenwood TS990 and there's half an hour worth of buttons to talk about. Basically, you turn it on with this power button, you choose your band as you saw, like so, and you turn up the volume, turn down your squelch, make sure your mic's up, your drive's up, that your mock's set. Be careful of that. Noise blanker, average to good noise blanker. Attenuator works, and once again it has narrow filters, etc. In this one, so that's kind of nice. But the big one, get the mic and transmit on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That actually, I'm not on even on sideband there. Let's have a look. Love having a 2008 back in the shack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a little bit off frequency there just on my monitor, but that's okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. Holly. Yeah, working nicely that. Now keep in mind that monitor's not a PEP monitor, but this is driving actually very well. All right. Well, I do this because you are a dear friend of mine up in Queensland. You know who you are. I'm keeping you nameless. You know the reason why I'm doing that. But I will say this: you're a great guy, and you might have to spend a little bit more on postage. I might send you your post bag back. We put this in a box now that we've got it actually working, and after seeing what Australia Post destroyed, sending it down to me. If you don't mind, we'll put it in a box and. I'll send you the post bag back that you've sent me. Lovely post bag, but yeah. And I'll put it in a box. We'll still use a post bag, so it's only going to cost you $20 anyway, because we'll get away with putting it in a one of the big extra larges once we get in a box. But because we've got to put a mic and power cord with it for you. But as you see, mic, power cord. I looked after you. You knew I would. It's a long story, but he actually donated these to me, and I paid a bit of postage to bring these bits down, the mic and power cord and that. And then he said, "Oh, I've just got donated a radio, and it's the radio that the mic and power cord that I just sent you down." I said, "Yeah, we'll work something out." Got him over a barrel. No, not really. Anyway, all right, all good. Okay, well, FT747. If you get given one, yep, great little radio to chuck out in the shed and use as a If you're looking for the supreme amateur radio that you want to put in the bench in your real Radio Shack, you know, take or leave it. This has been one of the more honest appraisals I've done, but I'm being honest. I think they work okay. They're all right, but don't get too excited. And they do have their little problems from time to time, and they are built quite shithouse in the way that they did all their board manufacturing. Lots of things internally that I look at and I just absolutely don't like. It was a very plasticky radio. Did it work? Yes. Should every CBA have one? Maybe, possibly. It's more. Steve, you know who you are. I'm kidding. Oh, geez. But it's not a huge thrills radio. It's a practical radio. You know, hey, if you put it on your marine boat or something and Mars modded and all that, I suppose. Oh no, you can't do that legally, can you? Don't say that. I'll get in trouble. All right. Well, thanks very much. I'm buggered. I'm absolutely buggered. I've had the shittiest day today with cardiologists telling me stuff that I just did not want to know. But anyway, we have a little bit less time to get what we need to get done. But we will do it, and I will push harder to try and get more out there. So get ready for more radios, and I'll try and get a bit more on the market, because it's a lot coming. Okay, FT747GX, better than an ICOM IC7850, better than a TS990. Yeah, right. What a load of rubbish. All right, see you later, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers.